Well, I'm Al Rich, president of ACR Solar in Carmichael, California, in Heidi's territory. I'm happy to say. I just also wanted to say, just being here, I've been a long-time supporter of CleanStart, and CleanStart's been a long-time supporter of me, and I just really appreciate it. What Gary and Mark are doing is amazing. Hacker Labs, this place is amazing. Sac State, Go Stingers, really cool. You know, it's great the support they're giving, and SMUD, of course, is so supportive to the community, and so we've got an amazing community team here. You know, it's just a great place to be. I love Sacramento, and I love all the support and the ideas that are coming up. We are also really privileged to have this awesome camaraderie and support. So just want to say thanks to everybody. And also thanks to the previous presenters. I definitely want to get involved with both of them. That's awesome. So anyway, so that's me in front of one of our demo trailers. This is the, actually this demo trailer was made in Virginia in 1988, and it was used in some of the early demonstrations of solar. I've been in solar for 40 years. I have 5 U.S. solar patents, and I'm going to introduce a couple of them to you now. I got first introduced to solar by my dad in 1962, and I'll tell you, solar is kind of a soul thing. I don't know how to put it exactly, but it's kind of gets into you, and so it was kind of like planted by my dad many decades ago. And when I had an opportunity in 1977 to go to this camp in Buena Vista, Colorado, and install a trickle-down pool heater, talk about crude, I jumped all over it. And so that's kind of started things. That's kind of got my solar juices going, because you know, to be in solar now for 40 years full time, you better like it. Better to like it, better to have a passion for it, and I think that's where I stand right now. And I feel that that's what's here too, and that's a wonderful thing, because passion is so important. And then you lead all that with what has been our statement: quality, value, and integrity. That's really the triad of things that's important, you know, to move solar forward and really give service. So anyway, this is my MegaMat product on the demo trailer. Anybody is welcomed out to ACR Solar in Carmichael, California. I'd be happy to show it to you, and I've got materials on it too. But so the next slide is, nope. There we go. That's my first patent, and I learned something from this. You get one of these things, you get a fancy plaque, you get more patents, you just stick with the first one. You just don't need more plaques. Anyway. So that's my one plaque, no more. But getting a patent, and that's something I'm also happy to help with, talk to people about, you know, who are looking to get patents. I've had a little experience with it, and so I'd be happy to kind of introduce people to that process. By the way, I wanted to do a little PSA announcement. Everybody probably noticed that it's not the other guy who was worse off than me, but I want to say that everybody here, be conscious and aware of the sun from another standpoint. It can be rough on you. So, you know, 50 years ago, I guess on the beach chasing girls around, I was in the sun way too much. I was a redhead with a tan, and I'm paying the price now for it. So everybody, suntan lotion, use it. Okay. Anyway, maybe I wouldn't be paying the price I am now. This is the this is my third patent. The first two I made in 1990. This was about 1988. This is actually being manufactured at Solar Roofs at our facility in Carmichael, and we make quite a few. In fact, we have an order for 180 of them right now, 180 systems out of Phoenix, Arizona. We're very excited about that. And solar thermal is something that a lot of people just aren't even familiar with. It's a technology, you know, everybody's PV, but that's what I got into in solar in 1979, and that's where everything was at right then. PV was way too expensive. It was probably $20 a watt back then or something. You know, it was just impossible. And so solar thermal, I'm kind of a mechanical guy. I had a restoration business in Florida in the 70s and stuff like that. And when I got the opportunity to participate in it, it really just kind of took off. So I wound up making improvements. Solar collectors back then were like 150 pounds, and they were difficult to deal with, and they were ugly. So I tried to make something that was attractive. My panels, instead of weighing 150 pounds, you know, they weigh 19 and 38 pounds. They have 26 different architectural colors that we can do. They can go on commercial buildings. We have some pretty good-sized commercial. We have 2,600 square feet on the Kruger Pickle Factory in Stockton, and some other nice jobs, or just plain residential jobs, as with Heidi's. And but we do mostly residential. ACR Solar does about $3 million a year in solar electric installations, and maybe 200,000 or so in water heating and pool heating. So you can see the ratios right now, and the demand has changed. About 10 years ago, when Gary and I met, we were doing like $2 million a year just in solar thermal, you know, so it's changed a lot. The cost of solar photovoltaics come down so much that it's hard to compete with it, although we are competing in some levels. And it's I think an industry that's maybe coming back a little bit because it's really good when it comes to replacing gas and reducing pollution. Solar thermal has about 3 times the power density of solar electric, for example. So there are still some good opportunities. So this is the MegaMat. This is what I'm holding in my hand right here. We got a few thousand feet of it made. This is all that's left. No, just kidding. We put it so that it can go underneath PV panels, and it circles around and comes back. The idea is that Sacramento is the 5th largest pool market in the nation. So there's a lot of opportunity right here. The idea is that the pool panels are almost always right in the south side, or right where you want to put the PV panels. They're right in the way. People still want to heat their pools. What are you going to do? Put the panels on the north side? Hate to tell you this, but folks, yes, we have actually put the pool panels on the north side. But during the summer it works okay, you know. But anyway, it's kind of a shame. So the idea of this is to be able to allow us to keep the panels in the front. It doubles or triples the actual net energy output of a system, because the radiant heat off the back of this, we have a way of putting the rubber directly behind the panels. Sucks out the heat, can increase the efficiency of the PV panel anywhere from 10 to 15%. Obviously, if the temperature underneath the solar PV system is the temperature of a pool, that's going to help cool the house. So we kind of have 3 different features that go on at the same time. And so this is a product that I've had for, 20 years now. So it's something I've been trying to launch, and just kind of a lesson to, say, young entrepreneurs who want to get going. You know, I mean, it's once you get going like I have, and you're just like hyper busy just running your business, even if you have a good idea, unless you get partners to go with it, it's not going to go anywhere. So I welcome partners. Anyway, but this is a product that I think has national, international potential. It can go underneath PV systems in commercial. It doesn't have to be under PV. It can be used in industrial heat. It can be process heat. It can be used on packer plants and stuff like that use incredible amounts of water. So it's got a lot of potential.
How do you fix it to the back of the panel?
It's actually not fixed to the back of the panel. It's on a rail on the rail. So you have the solar rails, and we put a rail that goes across underneath there, and then this rolls on top of it, and we have a little system to keep it in place. Yeah. Good question, though. So it's actually EPDM. This material has a 50-plus year life expectancy. Oops. Okay, so that's basically the patent number 6 million, whatever. It's now in 9, 10 millions. Solar energy collector having oval absorber tubes. Basically what's innovative in this design is that typically they're little round tubes with little round receptacles. This has a cutting, let me just go to that. There we go. Basically that's the design right there, and instead of having all these little tiny tubes, we have a web cutting tool right here that cuts out the webs in here and allows it to go over a much larger and stronger receptacle. We have a large wetted area, and that connects to a header that goes across. And so all these things need to be refined. We have prototypes of this. Money's needed to be able to make the headers, make the cutting tools and things like that. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Any demo installations of the MegaMat?
Yes. I hope there's nobody from the county around here.
Didn't pull a permit, huh?
We pulled a permit on the PV system. Anyway, yeah, no, I have a friend of mine who has a very nice installation. And if you go to megamatsolar.com, you can see a whole nice little website on the MegaMat. And solarroofs.com is for the thermal, and ACRsolar.com is for everything else we do. So any questions?
Right.
2 questions. Did you say lifespan is on that product?
It's EPDM rubber has a 50-year plus life expectancy. Yeah, it's UV inert. It's extremely durable stuff, and unless a chipmunk gets
I
it.
wasn't expecting that answer, so I don't have the same question.
Well, the FAFCO sold for years.
Yeah.
Something that had the round tubes. I haven't had it on my roof, but it turns to dust after a while.
That's a polymer.
Yeah.
That's a plastic.
So it depolymerizes
Right.
under the UV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this stuff doesn't do that. But for the most, if it's used in the PV system, it's not even exposed to much sun anyway. But if it was, it's extremely durable. So once it's up there, you get 2 generations of PV on it probably.
Is it fantastically expensive, or is it about the price of any sort of plastic?
I think if we got the volume going, we'd be okay. This is a situation where we do need volume in order to get the price down. Right now everything's a prototype. It's expensive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have metrics on the temperature reduction for the PV panels?
The temperature reduction it's going to be running underneath the PV panels at about pool temperature, say 80 degrees or whatever. It's not going to cool it off, completely. But bottom line is that if a PV system in the hot sun, you put your hand on it, you just can't hold it there. This you can hold it there, and so it's probably reducing it. It obviously depends on all kinds of variables. But instead of being like 180 degrees like it could be, it's probably going to be closer to maybe 120 degrees or something like that. And that's well within a temperature that PV panels are comfortable with as far as high, good performance. Yeah. And then underneath it, it'll be 80 degrees.
Other questions? Can you get the facet to work with the MegaMat underneath?
We'll figure it out.
There you go. All right. We'll talk. Good.
All right. So thank you very much now.
Thank you very much.